What's going on, abnormal athletes, and welcome back to another abnormal video. Today I'll be showing you some of my personal favorite pieces of calisthenics equipment that you should get your hands on. In order to avoid plateaus and to continually progress with your calisthenics training, you need to invest in some form of equipment. So I'm going to go into detail and show you guys what I use. Okay, equipment number one, the first and my personal favorite piece of equipment. If you have to get any piece of equipment, invest in rings. Rings are one of the best pieces of equipment you can get. I can't stress enough. With the rings, everything is just 10 times harder on them. The amount of core strength you develop from them just by training on them is insane. Like, you need to get rings. That's just a must. Not only can you do ring pull-ups in them, you can do dips, so you can do push, pull, core work. You can even use them to train pistol squats, legs. It's the ultimate piece of calisthenics equipment that you must have. Another reason to get rings is that you can set them up virtually anywhere. As long as you have a place, sturdy place that's quite high up, you can just latch them onto anything. So a pull-up bar, you can put them around a tree, just anything, in a gym. So again, they're really portable. They're not that heavy to carry around, and they're relatively cheap as well, so a really good investment. Okay, onto my second most favorite piece of equipment. It has to be resistance bands. Now, without resistance bands, I probably wouldn't have learnt the one on pull-up. It's helped me get my planche, helped me with strengthen my front and back levers. Really good, useful piece of equipment to use. Now, with the bands, you can buy them in different levels of resistance. So the more bands you get, the easier it will be to track your progress, because once you're good at one band, so let's say the green band, then you can go down to the black band, which offers slightly less resistance, and then you go down to the red band, which is even less resistance, until eventually you can do the movement, the static hold, using just your body weight. So it's a really good form of equipment to use to track your calisthenics progress as well. I'm also currently injured at the moment, so bands have been helping me strengthen up my weak muscles. So they're a really good tool to use to warm up with, as well as to strengthen up those muscles. So if you really want to isolate certain muscle groups, then bands are really good to use as well. Again, they're relatively cheap. I think the most expensive band is the green one, which offers the most resistance, or the blue one. But yeah, they range around 10 to 30 pounds, and again, they're very easy to carry around. Next up, we have the pull-up bar. Now, all beginners should have this installed in their house. I don't care if you don't know how to do a pull-up, you must get yourself hands on a pull-up bar. Pull-up bars are a great way to develop your pulling strength. It's the first piece of equipment that I had. It helped me strengthen up all my pull-ups. I literally 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I couldn't do one behind the neck pull-up. I could do maybe like 1 or 2 normal pull-ups, regular pull-ups. So again, they've just helped me build up my pulling strength. So really good, useful tool to get. I've got the one where you tighten it across a door frame. Only problem with them is that if your door frame isn't strong enough, then you may have to get a pull-up bar with screws in. So you have to install it with screws, which is a bit annoying. But again, you can do a lot of pulling exercises. You can also adjust the height to it. So if you did want to do pushing exercises, you can lower it and also do some pushing exercises as well. Again, if you have one fitted in your house, then you have no excuse but to train whenever you can. Once you pass your pull-up door, just do a few sets of pull-ups or any form of core work. So they're really useful to have. You can't hide away from your training, guys, with a pull-up bar at home. Again, they're relatively cheap, around 20-30 pounds maximum on Amazon. I'll always leave the link in the description to all of these pieces of equipment, so you can go check them out and buy them if you want. Fourth piece of calisthenics equipment has to be parallettes and push-up bars. You guys need to get yourself a hold onto these if you want to learn handstands. Handstands are a great way to learn them on the floor, but again, some people don't have the wrist mobility to actually hold a decent handstand on the floor, so parallettes are the next best thing. They're really good as well for push-ups, so any pushing exercises like trying to learn your planches as well, or any push exercise, really good to use parallettes, because you can get nice and deep in them. You can adjust different grips, so you can have a supinated grip, pronated, wide, narrow, staggered. There's so many grips you can adopt, which will just, again, tap into those muscles that you may not have used before if you're just using, like, let's say your hands. So Parallettes are a really good investment. The main difference between the push-up bars and the Parallettes are slightly longer, the grip is a bit thicker, so it's a bit easier to do handstands on and push-ups than any other exercise. I'll say the push-up bars are really good for beginners, just learning basic push-ups, but if you do want to learn handstands, then get yourself some long Parallettes. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Again, they're very easy to take with you around, very transportable, and they are cheap. I mean, well, push-up bars are very cheap. Parallettes may be slightly more expensive, but they are worth it. So if you really want to get the high ones, the equalizers, they can be very expensive. Like, I'm talking 50 to 100 pounds plus. So those are like literally like the parallel bars. But yeah, stick to the Parallettes, you're still good. We're getting towards the end of the list now. Next up, we've got a weight belt and ankle weights. So basically weights. Now, once you've passed a certain stage with your calisthenics training, let's say you're 1-2 years into your training, you can do many pull-ups in a row, many dips in a row. You want to take it to that next level. You may want to try and add weight to your exercises. This is just going to make sure that you keep tearing those muscles so they regrow stronger and you keep seeing those gains. It's a very easy way, an efficient way to track your progress as well, because week by week all you do is just add extra weight to your normal pull-ups, push-ups, dips, etc. So again, very simple and effective way to build muscle continuously and avoid plateaus. The weight belt is very easy to transport around, it's relatively light. However, if you do get yourself a weight vest or ankle weights, they can be quite heavy, so to even carry them around is like such a trek. You don't want to be, you know, carrying around 20 kilos on your back, do you? So again, may not be the best option to carry around if you're looking to train elsewhere. Last but not least, they're not really equipment used specifically for calisthenics, but they should be utilized because you are doing calisthenics, are trigger point balls and foam rollers. I can't stress enough, guys, you have to look after your body, especially if you're doing lots of pull-ups, push-ups, dips, any form of calisthenics exercise, all the static holds. Everything's going to tense up and tighten up, so you need to loosen up your muscles, keep them supple, keep them healthy, otherwise you're going to be prone to injury. That's what happened to me. Everything went really tight in my body and snap, I messed up my shoulder. So please do look after your body, guys. Use trigger point balls literally to really get into those knots. Foam rollers if you're a beginner, again, because obviously it can be painful, but yeah, do look after your body, guys. These are really key pieces of equipment you should invest in, so yeah, do go out and get them. So that was the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you now know what calisthenics equipment you should buy, what's right for you. I'll leave all the links for all of these pieces of equipment in the description below. As always, comment, like, share, most importantly subscribe to the YouTube channel. So close to that 100k goal. Keep showing love, keep subbing. I'll catch you guys next week with another video. It's been your boy Tayo. Peace.